Hi everyone, it's Karen here and welcome back to my channel. Today I have a brand new art journaling process tutorial featuring Marabu art sprays and several stencils from different companies, from Joggles and from the Crafters Workshop. Recently I got a few Marabu art sprays and I've just been so excited about using them that I couldn't get enough of them, and I created many different types of art journaling pages. I'm working in my 6x9 Joggles disc-bound journal. This is an amazing journal that has very thick watercolor papers that can be used for any type of mediums, and they're perfect for sprays because you don't have to prep them with gesso. I started spraying the background with 3 different colors from the Marabu art sprays. I used the Sunshine Yellow, the Tangerine, and the Raspberry. When you mix these 3 together, they form a beautiful mixture of colors, and I used all 3 of them to cover the background. This is the first layer of my art journal, and I have to heat set this really well in order to add the next layers. But as you can see, the journal takes the sprays really well. And the nice thing about it is that you can take the pages out of the journal and work on a flat surface, and the inks are much easier to apply. Once this layer was dry, I took another stencil. This is the Diamond Stencil from the Crafters Workshop, and I started applying the Aquamarine color from the Marabu sprays. I just added a little bit of this pattern in the background by moving the stencil around and spraying in different areas. Now this stencil is actually not available anymore for sale, but you can use any stencil to create a triangular or diamond shaped pattern. I also took the stencil and I stamped with it with whatever was left over on the stencil itself with the ink. Then I heat set this layer as well. Next, I took a stencil by the Crafters Workshop as well. This is the number Scramble, and I sprayed the Gentian color, which is almost like a cobalt blue, and it's absolutely beautiful. It's one of my favorite colors. And I just sprayed it again in several areas by moving the stencil around. That helped to create a very nice distressed looking background. I heat set this layer as well. The key to layering the Marabu sprays on an art journal page or on a canvas is to heat set each color separately, or each set of colors, and keep them in their families. That way they don't interact with each other, because when you heat set the Marabu sprays, they're permanent. Then I took another stencil and used the Reseda color to add that pattern as well. So the key is to continue adding patterns to the background to really combine all the colors and stencils and create an amazing pattern for the background. The last background pattern I used was a circular pattern. This is a Vicky Butin stencil, and it's like a circular stencil. And I took the Caribbean color from the art sprays and again added a little bit of blue in certain areas to just add a little bit more to that pattern. Once everything was dry, I took a 9x12 stencil from Joggles. This is called Sunshine, and using the black art spray, I went and I sprayed the sunshine bursts in certain areas of the background. Now, some areas it worked really well, and in some of them I had a little bit of a drippage underneath, which I did not like. So what I did is I was able to clean the areas that were still wet and remove the ink completely. And that helped for me to be able to spray everything again. So even though the background did not have any gesso, I was really happy to see that while the ink was still wet, I was able to remove it without any residue. And that was really good, because I really hated the way it came out and I did not want it to look like that. So it was really handy, the fact that I could do this, and I kept on trying to do it until I got it perfectly. I realized I had to clean the stencil a second time because it had dripped everywhere, and the black was really staining the background a lot, even my matte. These sprays are really powerful and the pigments are really strong. So they do stain a lot. They stain my fingers, they stain the mat. So if you want to use gloves, you can do that. I was able to clean though my mat perfectly after. This is the Ken Oliver mat. And as you can see, I'm doing this a second time, and erasing what I had done. I got another sunburst pretty good, and then the other one came out horribly. So I decided that I will clean my stencil well with a wipe and remove all the excess. That way I can spray it again. And you see the huge mess in the background, and that's okay because I just took a little bit of soap and I scrubbed it with just one of those kitchen scrubs, and the whole mat cleaned up, which I was really happy because I love this mat. It's my favorite mat that I use for crafting and for art. This is the Ken Oliver mat, and I highly recommend it if you don't have one. As you see, it's really easy to clean and it has clinginess to it, so things don't move around when you're working on them. So finally, after cleaning the stencil, I went back and I tried spraying it again. And this time I was able to get the right impression. Once it was done, I went ahead and I heat set the black really well because I knew I wanted to doodle on top of the black ink, and I wanted to make sure it's thoroughly dry. I took a Sharpie paint marker in white and started doodling on these sunflowers. I outlined the circle and then all the dendrites around and just had fun doodling with my marker. It was really fun. And the paint marker goes perfectly on these because these are acrylic based, and since they were completely dry, I was able to outline everything perfectly. Then I took a Uniball white pen and started writing messages for myself, basically art journaling. I just wanted to write inside the sunbursts, just writing anything that I feel. I mean, this is what art journaling is all about, is just writing things that make you feel good and releasing those emotions, or just writing messages for the positivity of it or the future, whatever you want. You can use this for anything. So I just wrote messages for myself. Then I took the Tim Holtz Small Talk and added a sentiment to the art journal page, which was related to all the messages that I had written myself. Then I realized I really did not like those bubble lines that I had created, so I just took a black Marabu art crayon and covered it up, and then I liked it much more. Finally, I took a black Posca pen and I just outlined around the word sentiments. I also took my white pen again and started doodling and adding lines and dots onto the dendrites of all the sunshine bursts. I just thought it added a little bit more character, and I just had fun doodling. I really like it sometimes to just grab a pen and just doodle it up. So here I am, adding it to all the different sunbursts. I really love this Joggles disc-bound journal. I've used this journal for the past couple of layouts in a horizontal position because I wanted to create some pages that were horizontal. So this is part of the same journal that I had already used in the past couple of weeks, and I have linked the other videos throughout this video so you can see the other ones that belong to this journal. I really like having this one-page spread where you can just add anything you want and not have to worry about splitting it into 2 pages. So that's why I wanted to focus on this specific journal and have it facing one direction. Once everything was dry, I just went back and popped in my art journal page onto my Joggles art journal. And it's so easy to just put back together. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked my video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends on social media. For more inspiration, subscribe to my channel and visit me on my website. If you have any questions, please leave me a comment and I will respond to you as soon as I can. Thank you so much and have an amazing day. Bye!